The death toll from Irma, which tore a path of destruction across the Caribbean and through the southeast, has climbed to 12 in the United States as power was restored today for over 2 million customers in Florida. By midday today, Florida Power still without power in Florida are 4.4 million customers. The company said its customers on the state's east coast should expect most power to be restored by about September. While customers on the state's west coast should expect most power to be restored by September. As evacuated Floridians sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic to head home and face monumental cleanups throughout the state. Irma, the weekend, is still bringing wind and rain to the southeast. Irma was downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone this morning and is expected to bring heavy rain today to the Carolinas, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Why these Miami residents aren't leaving home as Irma approaches. Reporter's notebook. My experience with 2 Hurricane Irma victims. Irma diary. Tampa woman chronicles waiting out storm with her parents in Naples. Irma diary. A Miami resident who opted not to evacuate documents writing out the storm. Florida Keys had been cut off from the mainland for days since Irma made landfall on the low-lying island Sunday morning as a Category 4 hurricane, bringing 130 miles per hour winds and a storm surge of 10 feet. It was the first Category 4 landfall in Florida since 2004. Florida Governor Rick Scott said the storm left devastation on the Keys, which were under mandatory evacuation orders during Irma. At least one person died on the Keys. Officials finally this morning opened entry into the Upper Keys for residents in Key Largo, Tavernier, and Isla Mirada, up to mile marker 73. Allowing residents to return home and see the damage for themselves. Dozens of eager Keys residents parked their cars along US 1 Monday, staying there through the night to make sure they could get onto the Keys when access was granted, ABC Miami affiliate WPLG-TV reported. But water, power, sewer, medical services and cell service are still limited, Monroe County officials said today. In the meantime, shelters and distribution centers for food and water are being opened. Florida's Department of Transportation is also today working to repair 2 300-foot stretches of road on the Keys that were washed out. While the Keys were under mandatory evacuation orders as Irma neared, not everyone left. Florida Director of Emergency Management Brian Kuhn estimates that about 10,000 people remained in the Keys during the storm, according to the Miami Herald. County officials are working to restore services and make the county safe for residents in the Middle and Lower Keys to return, they said today, adding that this will take time. Further north, Miami Beach residents were permitted to return this morning too. Miami Beach XYs are now open to everyone. Expect delays and use caution. Welcome home, City of Miami Beach. At Miami Beach News, September 12, 2017. Cleanup efforts were underway this morning on Miami Beach's iconic Ocean Drive, which was covered in sand from the storm surge and wind. The area was littered with downed trees and street signs, but appeared to escape without major structural damage. Some business owners this morning removed boards from their windows, preparing to reopen. Irma moved north Monday, bringing heavy rain and wind through the northern Florida city of Jacksonville, and then Georgia and South Carolina. Wind gusts reached 64 miles per hour in Atlanta, and the coastal city of Brunswick, Georgia, saw over 6 inches of rain. Charleston, South Carolina, saw a nearly 10-foot storm surge. 5 to 6 inches of rain fell in the area, and winds reached 66 miles per hour. Photo, a Charleston, S. C. Resident puts plastic up over his apartment door as a car rests in floodwaters near East Bay Street in Charleston, S. C. September 10, 2017. Mixmouth AP, water raced through the streets of Jacksonville earlier Monday, bringing record levels of storm surge along the coast and inland rivers. Photo, street flooding is prevalent on the south bank of downtown as Hurricane Irma passes by in Jacksonville, Florida. September 11, 2017. Wabiki to Florida Times-Union via AP, for those contemplating driving around downtown today. This seems to be a recurring theme. Number JSO recommends not. pic.twitter.com NSPVT1XV0Q, Jack's Sheriff's Office, at JSOPIO. September 11, 2017. After Irma left the Keys Sunday morning, it moved north, passing over Naples, which recorded a 142-mile-per-hour wind gust. The city also saw nearly 12 inches of rain and a 7-foot storm surge. Farther north, wind gusts reached 94 miles per hour in Lakeland and up to 90 miles per hour in the Tampa Bay area. Photo, a street is flooded as Hurricane Irma passes through Naples, Florida, September 10, 2017. David Goldman AP. Photo, Hurricane Irma causes damage in an East Naples mobile home park in Naples, Florida. September 11, 2017. Daniel William McKnight Polaris, in Miami, which saw winds up to 99 miles per hour. Resident Joe Keener said he has endured multiple hurricanes in the Caribbean, but I'd never experienced a storm as brutal as Irma. I've been in Miami Beach for 2 years, which is prone to flooding, but this is completely out of the norm, Keener told ABC News. Photo, a vehicle passes downed palm trees, and 2 cyclists attempt to ride as Hurricane Irma passes through the area on September. (10, 2017) In Miami Beach, Florida. Joe Rettel Getty Images. Keener boarded up his house and is staying at a high-rise hotel in Miami. He said he had to move down to the lobby after his hotel room windows took a beating from the strong winds. The windows started cracking, and these are massive impact windows. They were exposed 12 hours of continuous heavy winds. At one point in time, one of them started splintering, and that's when I lost my nerve and said, "I'm leaving," he said. It psychs you out. It's just the endless howling and pounding of the wind. Photo: a gas station sign lies along Biscayne Boulevard after Hurricane Irma struck in Miami, September. '10, 2017. Eric S. Lesser EPA, President Donald Trump approved a major disaster declaration in Florida on Sunday, authorizing federal funding to flow directly to Floridians impacted by Hurricane Irma and reimbursing local communities and the state government to aid in response and recovery, state officials said. Photo: evacuees at inside of the Germain Arena that is serving as a shelter from the approaching Hurricane Irma, September. '9, 2017. In Estero, Florida. Mark Wilson. Getty Images. Trump may travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands, which suffered extreme destruction from the storm. At least 7 people, including a sheriff's deputy, died of storm-related injuries in Florida as the hurricane barreled across the state. One person was killed in Monroe County, which includes the Florida Keys. The man was killed after he lost control of a truck that carried a generator as winds whipped at tropical storm strength, officials said. Two others, a sheriff's deputy and a corrections officer, died from a 2-car crash in the rain in Hardy County, which is about 60 miles inland from Sarasota, officials said. In Winter Park, near Orlando, a man was electrocuted by a downed power line Monday morning, according to the Winter Park Police Department. He was pronounced dead at the scene after investigators found him lying in the street, police said. Photo: police officers climb atop a vehicle while trying to salvage it from the aftermath of Hurricane Irma in Northport, Florida. September 11, 2017. Idris Latif. Reuters. Another person died from carbon monoxide poisoning from improper use of a generator in Miami-Dade County, the mayor said. Another person died in Hillsborough County while cutting fallen tree branches. Another fatality was from a car crash in Orange County in Central Florida. At least 3 people have died in Georgia as a result of the storm. In Sandy Springs, a man died while lying in bed after a large tree broke and fell on his home, Sandy Springs Mayor Rusty Paul announced on Facebook. In Forsyth County, a female passenger died after a downed tree struck her vehicle, the sheriff's office said. A third death was reported in Worth County. At least 2 people have died in South Carolina. A 57-year-old man was killed after a tree limb fell on him, and a 21-year-old died in a car crash. At least 37 others died from Irma in the Caribbean, including at least 10 in Cuba. ABC News' Max Colombo, Dan Peck, Rachel Katz, Will Gretzky, Jason Volak, Gio Benitez, Rachel Scott.